Wednesday. Happy Wednesday to everybody. This is his chair. He's coming. I think he's trying to get the dogs situated so that way while we're going live, Pebbles isn't destroying our house. It's actually kind of raining here a little bit, so I'm not sure we're going to be able to stay outside.
Can we come inside?
I think so. What do you think? Can you see the droplets on the roof?
Yeah.
Okay. Change of scenery. Okay.
Where do you want to go?
I don't know. Maybe there were 5 people watching and now there's 2.
Nice.
Yeah. Should we just set the chairs in front of like that window?
Sure.
Reconnecting. Hey, now there's no one watching. Okay, well.
Tina, go back inside. Hey. Dog. Dog. Stop.
Chair. Be right back. These are like outdoor patio chairs. Okay, I think John is coming. So, how's everybody's day? How's everybody's Wednesday? Okay. There. Perfect. It's gonna immediately get ruined. Hey, maybe crazy, you're catching a bad live. We're having a rough go of it to try to get going. The dogs have been a challenge today, and most days.
And today.
Hi, Ann Dorman. Hi, Robin Terry. How's it going?
Hello.
In case Ricky D is here, happy pre-birthday.
Happy pre-birthday.
Pre-birthday for your birthday actualness tomorrow.
Actualness.
Pretty exciting. It's always... Well, we miss you when you're not there, but we understand everything is so crazy. There's always so much going on. It's hard to prioritize.
Yes. That is true.
Sean is there. Hi, Sean.
Hey, Sean.
He's coming tomorrow, right? That'll be fun. Or is that... Hopefully I didn't just ruin anything. Yes, good, great. That'll be exciting.
Yes.
Pebbles, you gotta stop, man. So about that free dog.
About that free dog. It's free.
Oh, careful. Worst live ever. Bought some enormous steaks. That's good. I've heard that there are some meat shortages right now because they had to close down like a meat packing plant or something. And
Cyber attack.
cyber attack.
Mm-hmm.
But wasn't it in Australia?
I don't know. It was the world's largest meat, whatever. That's what I heard.
Do we get meat from Australia though?
I don't know. Probably, I guess.
Yeah.
Who knows? I don't know anything about the world.
So that's
Meat.
crazy.
That's crazy. Do you want me to hold that? That way you're...
Sure, that would be nice. Okay, I'm just gonna get my computer going so I can read
Do we have our list?
chat. Yeah, our list is right here. It's not Australia, it's a US company that's worldwide and sells to big box. Yeah, living in the new house. So we moved this past week, not this weekend, but the one before that. And we just finally got hot water today.
Today.
So
Hooray.
it's been a festive week. of
That
living
it
here
has.
and like not be like to do dishes. We've been like boiling a tea kettle and like filling the sink, which has been, that's super cute.
Tons of fun.
Can I scoot this just a little closer? Is that better? Oh, sorry. Add. Oh, Bomber Steve is here. Good day. Hope the new house is going great. We are in. Not unpacked, but we're in.
Nice.
Congratulations. That's excellent.
Congratulations. That is excellent.
Hopefully your move went smoothly. Oh, this error occurred. That's the weirdest thing. Mm-hmm. Moving is a very stressful situation, so we can sympathize.
Very much so.
Oh, Bomber Steve says we do export a lot of meat, so it's possible most of it goes to Asian markets. Very interesting.
Very interesting. I learned something interesting the other day. So we got a new alpaca, and the lady who gave her to us, Cookie, told me that you can get emu oil from emus without
killing them?
Yes.
Oh.
So apparently.
Hi, Kathy.
Hey, Kathy and Jim. So apparently it's just a gland that they have, similar to ducks.
So how would you squeeze it? So it's like milking a gland?
Yeah, so like when they preen themselves, like they reach back and they do whatever and then they wipe it all over themselves. So apparently that's a thing.
So Bomber Steve also has no hot water.
Hooray! Except we just got hot water, so.
Yeah, but we for sure can sympathize with that.
Yes.
John took a couple cold showers. I went to my mom's to shower because I'm a little too precious for a cold shower. I just I can't.
A little too precious.
Like even just like washing like half a sink load of dishes in cold water with like my hands would get all cold and I would get crabby and it was like a cold weekend. Hey, Mulberry Bridge, how's it going? They caught another swarm.
Well, good for them.
I know. They're up to 5 hives. Is
good
that right?
for them.
Oh, hey, Rebel Canners, how's it going?
I'm just the slightest bit jealous.
And I also, Rebel Canners just made dandelion jelly. It looked so cool. It looked like, it sounded interesting. I would be interested in trying it if we were ever.
If we had some free time?
If we had some free time. We got no shortage of dandelions.
Yeah, Bomber Steve, that's what we heard. And there's there's a company called like Blue Emu where it's emu oil for like sports injuries or whatever. So I don't know if that's something that we want to do or can do in the future. But it's a thing.
Well, I'm glad that you can do it without killing them.
Yeah, same.
Because we didn't know that.
And weren't planning on murdering any alpacas.
No, we're not murdering anybody. So.
Not murdering anybody. Not murdering anybody. No murder here. So I need a haircut.
No, it looks good.
I need a haircut.
Anywho. Okay.
So today was the first day of stump removal in the flower garden. So we had our guy Michael, who actually lives
literally right around the corner from us.
Literally right around the corner. Like you go to the end of our street, you look left, and that's his house right there. So he came over with his excavator and started digging up some stumps. So that was cool. We figured we probably have like 40 or 50 that he's going to pull up, and he picked out like 12 today. So it's a good start. I think he's going to be handy to have around in the future.
And he has like a big Kubota,
I think technically it's a mini excavator.
Mini excavator.
But yeah.
It's
nice. And he has the thumb attachment so he can grab things. He pulled out a rock that was like as big as our king size bed.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I mean, it must weigh a zillion tons.
A zillion tons.
Hi, Nick Gurr. How's it going?
No, you don't say that out loud, Catherine.
Oh, shoot. Why? Why do people be like that?
Why do people do that?
Oops.
What a piece of garbage. Yeah, report and remove. Yes.
Hide user on this channel.
What a jerk.
Okay. Bye, Nick. Nice knowing you. People are so silly. I have like free time like that.
Yeah. But anyway, so it was actually pretty cool to see him work. And he's a super nice guy.
He's so good with our dogs too. He is Newfie. Newfie or Newfies?
Newfie.
He is Newfie. And the
Which is a Newfoundland for those people who don't know what a Newfie is.
The Bigs went out and were like running their mouths at him, and he just like came right over and was like all hands over the fence, like, "Hey guys, how's it going?"
Well, and he specifically asked to come say hi to the dogs, which is always nice, because he's definitely a dog guy.
Probably so that they wouldn't bark at him for the entire time he was there. Paper towel.
Thank you. But anyway, so it was actually pretty cool, and we were thinking originally that we were gonna have him pull the stumps out, and then we would drag them off. Hey, Adrian.
Maybe crazy. I'm obviously slow too because I have fallen for that every time it's happened. It's happened on like 3 or 4 lives that people will come in and like say 2 names.
Yeah.
And I just like, I don't know, there's just like not where my head is at to like assume that that's what people are after. I just like don't really understand why. Anyway, he's gotten enough of our airtime.
So he would pull stumps, and we would drag them away with our truck, because we got like a logging chain that we had been using to drag, like full trees away, basically. But it's crazy to see how they come up. It's just not
Big.
Yeah.
Like the root ball that still is all caked in like mud and dirt and stuff.
Huge.
Pets for Pupper Dog.
Yeah. You can have her.
Peanut, come back over here and get some pets. Hi. What a good girl.
Yeah. So, but it is great. He's digging down like 5-6 feet
I know. It's like
underground to take him out.
so the way he's doing it is he's like digging around the trunk and like creating this like well and then trying to rip it out. And Pepper went down into one of the wells and she like totally I've got it on video. She looks like a little like normal sized dog.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's fun. I had a work Zoom call today, and the dogs were not being very helpful.
Doing some Zoom bombing.
Yeah, and barking and stuff. So I said the free dog that doesn't bark at all and blah, blah, blah. They didn't buy it.
No. Was it Claire?
No.
Oh.
So.
All right.
All right, then what, Linda?
So that's how stump removal's going.
That is how stump removal is
And
going.
what
But wait, real quick. So I was thinking that we would be able to drag them away, but I don't know. We're definitely gonna be able to bring some of them away, because originally we went through a lot of iterations of what to do with the stumps.
Yeah, the plan.
So originally we were thinking that we would just dig a big hole somewhere and bury them. But that just, the time it takes to do that just costs money. So then the thought was we just have them drag somewhere and let them sit. But then again, like having him drag them somewhere costs money. So we were thinking that we would do it ourselves. And we'll definitely be able to do some of them, but we won't be able to do all of them. So we gotta designate an area that will be for
Stump grave.
Stump grave.
Stump above ground grave. Because we're having a hard time like choosing, because there's so much to do. Hey, Joey and Carlton. There's so much to do and so much that we like could spend money on, and we want everything to be like nice and cute and fresh and pretty and look like intentional. But the cuter you want things to look, like the more money it ends up costing, like invariably. So I think ideally we would bury the stumps, like in the perfect world, if
Right. Like they would just go away.
yeah, that's true, or like have them actually taken away.
Right. But that would basically be the same thing if we dig a hole and bury them, But somebody else brought up a point that if we did that, we might as well have them
Take
ground, stump ground, because if they're just gonna sit there and rot, you might as well just have someone come in with a stump grinder, grind it to the level, and then they'll just rot in place eventually, and then you have your own Kugel.
Hey Fleetwood Patch, how's it going? And Dorman says, so when you get a tractor, can you get the stumps out with that?
So We were actually just talking about that a little while ago. So we could get a tractor that had maybe a backhoe on it, but it won't be set up enough to dig out these kind of stumps, and it's really expensive to get. So it's almost like, there's a finite amount of stumps that we have. So, the cost of adding a backhoe to a tractor versus having this guy rip out all the stumps is probably about the same. Or, we'll see. But, because there's some places where maybe we won't need to take out the stumps.
Right, if we just... The reason we're pulling them out is because we want to garden in this area. But in places where we're going to pasture, if we could get like a nice flat cut at ground level and then, like spread a little bit of dirt and grass seed on top, it wouldn't matter.
Yeah, I guess we would need to think about things like if we're going to till, then having that just an inch below the grade will be a problem.
But we'd till back there, but I don't think we'd ever be tilling.
Pasture? I don't know. How does that work?
I think you just basically plant grass.
Yeah.
I think. I'm not sure.
Well, because you had also mentioned the other day about like setting aside some land to hay. I don't know if we would need to till for that.
I don't think so.
We'll see. A lot of things on the horizon, a lot of options. And nothing but time.
Nothing but time and money.
Nothing but time and money.
Shearing?
Shearing. And yeah, it depends on how big the tractor is too. But to get a backhoe that has enough force, like as this excavator, you'd have to have a giant tractor that's probably way bigger than we need.
Liquid stuff to remove stumps. I would guess that that's probably... If it was going to remove a stump of this size, it would need to be pretty toxic.
Yeah, and there's also ways where...
We have stumps that are like...
2 feet in diameter. But there's also like ways that people will burn stumps.
Right, that's what Bomber Steve was saying.
Oh, well, he was saying they make good bonfire, but there's ways where you can like drill holes deep into the stump and pour kerosene down and light them on fire. But that is also dangerous because then they'll burn underground, honestly, for a really, really, really long time.
Oh, yeah.
So you never know what's going to happen.
It's like that coal town in Pennsylvania or wherever it is that movie was based on. You don't know?
I don't know.
Somewhere, I'm sure somebody in chat will know what I'm talking about. Somewhere there's this town that had all these underground coal mines all over. Like everybody in the town was in the coal business. And there was like an explosion and a fire down there. And like 40 years later, the fires are still burning. Yeah. And the whole town got evacuated and it's a ghost town now.
Because there's still just an underground fire.
An underground fire, yeah. And pieces of the road will just like suddenly collapse because there won't be enough.
That's the same thing about
Does anyone know what I'm talking about? It's like a movie and a video game that's based in that location.
A video game?
Yeah. Silent Hill or something like that? Should I try Googling it?
Silent Hill? That was with the guy with like the pyramid head.
Hold this.
Burnt for a week, but it was the only way to get it out. Yeah, there you go. Rebel Canner saw it on the news. I don't know about Silent Hill, but so we also, was it yesterday?
Centralia, Pennsylvania is a borough and near ghost town in Columbia County, Pennsylvania. Yep, Silent Hill. Nailed it.
Well,
good job, Catherine.
Okay.
Is the Centralia fire still burning?
I saw something on the news today that said
38 known active fires.
That there's a
water.
I am going to say something that's very important that you're going to care deeply about. There's an extended version of the Super Mario Brothers movie that was made in the 90s that's available for free online.
Oh, did you just say that just because I mentioned the video game?
Yeah.
Okay.
And there was a movie adapted from the video game. Which Super Mario Brothers. John Leguizamo's in it. But anyway.
Silent Hill video games were so freaking scary.
Yeah, there was a Super Mario Brothers movie made in the 90s and it was awful. But I love awful movies. And so it was great. But anyway, so yesterday right? Our alpacas got shorn.
Mm-hmm.
So that was exciting.
Mm-hmm. And it went really well. I went.
It did. You came. It was good that you were here this year, not last year.
Yeah, last year I was nervous that it would be too like upsetting because they really don't like it.
Yeah, and last year 3 of them really did not like it. 2 of them peed themselves, and then.
Like that's already too much trauma for me to witness.
But they also make a lot of noise.
Yeah.
And for animals that already don't make a lot of noise, like making some noise is already like kind of unsettling, but the noises that they make are very unsettling.
So this year, it wasn't like that,
No.
which is good. Do you think that they were calm because I was there?
Yeah, definitely. Even the ones before knew that you were coming.
Yes. I said, Catherine's coming. She'll comfort us.
But I do wonder if it was the shearer and his daughter this time rather than his helper last year, and I wonder if having a female presence made a difference.
Could be. Could be.
Because that's really the only difference between this year and last year. Although there were more alpacas this year. But, and so Cookie, the one that we got from the other day,
Cookie, formerly Whitney.
Was actually already shorn by our shearers last week, just at a different farm. But so yeah, it actually went really well. We did find out that Pumpkin has a little bit of a skin thing. She had some dandruff, and so we're not sure if that's going to be good for her fiber. But also we just gotta, once they get here, we'll be able to do some more preventative maintenance on them. And like, they just need some salves and stuff. She had dry skin.
Yeah, they gave us some recommendations of what to do. I want alpaca wool cost. Well, you probably don't just want alpaca fiber. You probably want yarn, would be my guess.
Yeah, that would be my guess also.
But if you want to try to learn how to felt, I don't know, Sweet Pea Farm isn't here, and she didn't go live, so she must have something going on. But if you want to do some Googling on how to felt, we'll bring you a whole bag of seconds.
Yeah.
How come you put stuff so far away so that I can't participate?
Get a little table and then we won't have this problem. No yarn. Okay, so no yarn for Joanne.
Yes, yarn, no yarn. No, she's saying she doesn't want felt, she wants yarn. Oh, okay. Well, hopefully I'm going to drop the fiber off either tomorrow or Friday.
You haven't heard back from the processor? Maybe. Yeah. Did you call her or email?
Emailed.
Yes, maybe we can call her.
But then I think she said it was going to be 6 to 8 weeks, right?
Yeah, something like that.
So it'll be a while.
Yeah. But quality takes time. Well, last year we just had one alpaca, well, like 1.5, 1 and 10% processed. But this time we're getting 7. So last year I think it took, she said it was going to take 2 or 3 weeks, and this time 6 to 8. So that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
So that should be cool. And then we'll be able to sell that stuff. Oh, and yeah. So.
You want to update on the emus? Or was it emu oil that you wanted to talk about?
No, emus. Emus are getting, they're getting big.
And fast.
Yeah.
They're,
like every day.
So they're on an enclosed porch right now, which is raised up, and it's all fenced in because we wanted to make sure that they were somewhere where we could keep a close eye on them until we get like a super secure fencing area built for them.
And we need to decide where they're going to go.
And they need to be bigger too, because you can't just like leave baby emus out. So they're good, but they were the other morning, or maybe it was, I forget what exactly it was, but they were just like motoring around the like one was leading and the other was chasing, and it was super cute to watch them.
It's nice. It's really nice that they're able to run around, that they have enough space to do that, because I know that they like running around.
Mm-hmm.
So it's nice that they're able to actually do that, stretch their legs.
Mm-hmm. And exercise their legs. I'm pretty proud of us for still friendly. Yeah, I actually think they're being more friendly now.
They're much more friendly now that they are out there than when we were taking them outside, because I'm sure picking them up out of their tub and bringing them outside was a somewhat traumatic experience. But so now they're more comfortable. And what were you gonna say about we're proud of our?
Oh, that we didn't have any like leg issues or I feel like we like focused on being careful with their legs and
The
not having anything
non-slippery
bad. Like
surfaces,
doing the
yeah.
best that we could to keep their legs safe.
Right.
We did not talk bees yet. We don't have any good bee news to share, so
No.
I think I didn't watch. I think you just put up a video. I saw you post in some Facebook pages, but I haven't had time to watch it yet. I think you're having a good year, and I know Mulberry Branch is having a good year. We're having a troublesome year.
Yeah.
So we had the one hive that survived the winter, and we took it to Joanne Carlton's house, and we split it into two. One we gave a queen, and one had queen cells, so we might have missed a swarm.
Definitely missed a swarm.
Definitely missed a swarm. Oh, found sad things. I thought it was going to be a happy video. I'll have to watch it, or you can give us the highlights or the lowlights as they were. So the hives there, we ended up, because then we went back and checked, and the queen that we bought scrammed. We don't know where she went, or maybe she was killed.
We've lost like
Four
queens.
purchased queens. The hives that were at Joanne's house, and we need to get back into them. Actually,
We need to get back into our own hives.
yeah, maybe we can get into them tomorrow when we're down there.
It's gonna be raining.
It's gonna be raining every time we go down there. It's raining. And then what's happening at our hives is we installed 3 fresh packages. The center one had the queen bounce. We bought a new queen, put her in, also bounced. So
I think we're gonna combine that hive with one of our, other 2 hives,
and see how it goes.
because we need to give them another box.
Yeah.
So, I think 2 splits into 1 colony. Wow, that's cool. Hopefully it went well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did the newspaper at Joanne's house. We did the newspaper in between the 2 hives so that they can have some time to acclimate.
Yeah. So however long it takes them to chew through and get rid of all the newspaper, they get acclimated to their own smells and don't kill each other.
Yeah.
That's the hope anyway.
Right. I'm hoping that we successfully overwinter at least a hive this winter. Because it doesn't seem like we're taking honey again, right?
No, I don't think so.
So,
I don't know.
2-year beekeeping.
But I mean, maybe we just take honey and do whatever. We'll see. And then maybe we can take a couple frames. Because like we didn't take any honey from either of the 2 outside hives, and they were booming when they went into winter, and they both died.
But I think that's the problem. Is I think we missed
Mite
brood
treatment.
cycle. Well, at least that's what Stan said. Maybe.
No. We may have missed a mite treatment at the end, but also I think the Formic Pro did a number on them.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of dead
Joanne
bees.
Carlton, what makes you think your queen is still there? Just
Well, hey, that
sheer optimism.
she said there was a lot of action there today, so that's good.
That's good.
Action is good.
And we've got up 1, 2, 3. We've got up 5 swarm traps over 3 different properties. Haven't seen any activity in any of them. So
But again, it's tough because we see the 2 here all the time. We don't see Joanne's but once a week,
yeah.
So
But I checked the 2 at our old house yesterday before I left, and I didn't see any activity in either. Though I don't even think we baited those.
did not.
So maybe we should do that.
Put it on the list.
Yeah. You guys are so busy transitioning, it's easy to let the bees fall by the wayside. It's usually the first to fall off for me.
Yeah, it's tough. It is tough.
Because the other problem is anytime that we have time to get into them, it's either because it's raining or it ends up raining.
Right, or it's just too, like this past weekend, not only was it raining, but it was 45 degrees.
Right, so too cold to get into them.
We had to go to Lowe's and buy wood pellets for our pellet stove to heat our house because it was so freaking cold.
Yeah.
It was wild.
It's wild.
It's wild. What else we got?
Boy alpacas.
Ah, yes. So the guy who shears our alpacas has a little farm out in Oxford. And he unfortunately has some cruddy neighbors. And they so something where his septic system failed. So
What a headache. Who would complain when you're going through that?
Well, so here's
I can't wait to hear this story.
So it's not
Hi,
that,
Ricky D.
not that exciting.
Oh, okay.
But so his septic system failed, so then there was a smell. And his neighbor wrote a formal written complaint to the town saying it was the manure, the compost, which anyone who smelled alpaca manure knows that it doesn't smell like septic. But anyway, so he complained to the town.
Crazy life.
And then the town is
Geocache.
a right to farm town, so they didn't make him get rid of all of his alpacas, but I guess he needed to rehome some of them. But also, so he has, I think, 4 total boy alpacas. And there is their herd sire, who's top dog, and his son. And then there's a gelded male, which means snip snip, and an intact male, which means non-snip snip. And so herd sire and son, gelded male and non-gelded male were basically 2 different teams, and they kind of fought each other. So he had to find a new place for the gelded male and his buddy, which is actually, right up the street from us where they're staying right now. And he was looking for a new home for them, and I was like, once we move, once we move our girls up here, we'll have a barn and pasture down at our old place that's available. So once we'll take them and then build a new structure for the boys maybe, and go from there.
So that would be exciting. That's something that was on our, a year ago, we wrote our 2021 plans and goals.
Farm goals.
And it's funny because, sorry, excuse me. I'm going to take a sip of water. Can you...
So we have 2021 farm goals, and we actually have achieved a lot of those.
Even though we moved, and that wasn't in the plan.
That was not in the plan. But, best laid plans of mice and men, and yada yada. And a wife who won't stay off Zillow. But no shade, because we're...
Also, you're welcome.
Yeah. But also, now that we're here, maybe you could delete Zillow from your phone.
Actually reinstalled it because I just got a new phone.
Somebody help me, please.
But now that Farm Friend Lily is also interested in real estate, I'm excited to have somebody to send houses to who might actually give a poop. But anyway, okay, so what I was going to say is we wrote down all of our goals a full year ago, having no intentions of moving. And on our list of goals was find boyfriend alpaca for our ladies and possibly have some babies at least get put into the works. So alpacas put into the works, bun in the oven, as they say. So alpacas stay pregnant for 11 months. And you want to make sure that they're giving birth in a warm season. You don't want them to drop babies in the middle of winter. So it's pretty cool that we could potentially do that, for 2022, or maybe for 2023. But it's nice that it's in the works.
Yep.
Because there's also, if we didn't, at our old house, we didn't have enough space to have a completely separate barn and pasture because you have to keep them separated and you need to have at least 2 to 3. So we were thinking about stud services, and it's so expensive because people don't stud out, basic alpacas. They stud out the best of the best, and that's not really our journey. We're not
$2,000. No thanks.
So because we're not doing ribbons and showing and registering and everything. It's we want fun pets basically. So
one of these is actually, they said he's
hey Chad, how's it going?
very friendly and gets very excited to see you, which I'm excited about. And
And
He's allegedly very friendly.
I saw somebody asked how Whitney's doing. Cookie, the geocache family. So Cookie is doing good overall. She hasn't eaten out of my hand. Has she eaten out of your hand? Mm-hmm. She's a little bit shy, but she's integrated well with the other
She got
alpacas.
accepted with the other ones, no problem.
Yeah.
Which was great.
And I haven't seen anybody like really give her a hard time about anything.
No, I mean there's the usual like, they hum at each other and lift their head up and threaten to spit at each other, but that's normal.
Normal, and they do that amongst themselves anyway.
Right.
So, artificial insemination, they do that with horses, cows, and pigs.
I don't think they do that with alpacas.
I haven't heard of it.
Otherwise, Macy wouldn't have.
That's true, right?
Yeah, I think.
Hey, Indiana Backyard Gardener, how are you?
Yeah, they don't do that with alpacas for whatever reason. But my favorite thing about alpaca breeding is the spit test, which is. So there's all kinds of you can do an ultrasound and pregnancy test and all that kind of stuff to see if an alpaca got pregnant. But the real test is 2 weeks after services have been rendered, you bring the male back, and if the female alpaca spits at him immediately, then she's pregnant.
That is a funny fun fact.
That is a funny fun fact. So Roots and Refuge tried to breed their alpacas and were unsuccessful. Crazy Life Homestead said.
Yeah, I think they only tried like that once. But it was right after, I think it was, correct me if I'm wrong, but memory tells me that it was right after they moved them. And my guess is that was just too much. So.
It's hard to be in the mood when you're stressed out.
Yeah, because they were also moved. And I didn't know this until I learned it from them. Apparently it's hard on alpacas to move them up or down laterally, but fine to move.
You mean north or south?
Yeah, longitudinally is okay. But if they're moving from a different climate, basically where it's hotter longer or colder longer, right? It's harder on them, which makes sense also.
Yeah.
And I think probably different parasite pressure moving, because I think they came from Ohio and moved down to Arkansas, so
it's a big change.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. One was supposed to be bred already.
Yeah, no Korea. So, I mean, and who knows, maybe it won't go well for us either, but it's at least a year in advance, if not 2
and it's
years.
a possibility.
So, but it's exciting that we're going to have some boys. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, we have watched some of the Arms Family Homestead videos. They're, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a funny, why did you get alpacas? And the guy is like, can you milk them? And she's like, no. So.
Why do we have dogs?
That's the question.
They provide nothing.
Oh.
Oh, what?
Somebody just pulled into our driveway. See, now we live in this weird situation. It used to be very normal for people to pull into our driveway and or just drive right down our road, but now it's very abnormal.
That's Randy.
Oh, it's Randy. Okay, great. All good.
Randy's picking up some of his wood.
Are the boys sweeter?
Yeah.
In general, I don't think that alpacas, males versus females, one is generally better disposed.
I think actually females are.
Oh, okay.
I think the males, like all males, tend to posture for alphaness and stuff.
Have some dominance.
Yeah.
Stuff.
I think alpacas in general are pretty docile overall. Mm-hmm. So I think it's probably subtle, but apparently these two are very nice. One of them is standoffish, as alpacas are, but one of them apparently likes treats and jumps, is all excited.
Dog trigger warning.
Yeah.
Pepper just noticed Randy's here.
But she's not even barking at him, she's barking at the wall.
Rebel canners, that's totally true. It's people whenever they find out we have alpacas, they're like, oh, they spit.
They're like, oh, llamas.
Yeah, they think that they're llamas, and it's like, no, they're different.
Yeah.
And I also think it's sort of like the emu to ostrich thing. One is smaller, one is nicer, one is less likely to try to get in your face and give you attitude, and we have the smaller, nicer, calmer versions of both.
Smaller, nicer, calmer.
Yeah. But man, oh man, did anybody see on Instagram, did I show you the video of that lady with the ostrich?
Yeah, I think so.
Holy guacamole. There's a video floating around right now of this lady who has an ostrich, and she's needing to like hold her out, and the ostrich is like trying to kick her in the face basically, because they've got emus, and even Lucy heard Pepper. Ostriches and emus have joints that bend like not the way that like a horse or donkey or whatever, how they would kick you from behind. Ostriches will look you right in the eye and kick you in the face at the same time, which is just like a little intense.
Wow. And yeah, sorry,
Geocache. You have our complete sympathy. We have dogs that get triggered by all kinds of things, and then trigger a rolling effect of.
If they bark 10 times a day, 9 times out of 10,
it's at nothing. Yeah.
So, yeah, there was one time our friend came to visit with his daughter, and she didn't get spit on. She got sneezed on.
Yeah, but like a full contact sneeze. But it was not like.
Achoo.
Yeah. Yeah. But because we were feeding, and I think whoever she was feeding like ate too much too fast. It was like, which was pretty funny. She's like nails done, hair nice. So it was pretty funny to see her get sneezed on. I mean, it's funny to watch anybody get sneezed on.
Well, and what they say about alpacas is that if an alpaca ever spits on a human, it's just because that human got in between the two alpacas, because they only really spit at each other.
Yeah.
So, and even then, it's only rarely.
Right, because they do a lot of like.
Yeah, they lift their head up and they
act like they're gonna spit.
They clear their throat like.
I could spit, but then they actually don't.
Yeah.
Oh, it's funny.
It is funny.
Okay, stump removal, emus, chickens. We're gonna talk about chickens.
Well,
what was for dinner?
Dinner tonight was a delicious rotisserie chicken.
From Costco.
From Costco. And edamame made by Catherine.
With rosemary and garlic and shallots and soy sauce. Yum, yum, yum.
And yes, and Pepper is a Harlequin, Great Dane. And actually today, it's funny. I think I forgot to tell you this. So today, 3 years ago, was the first time we picked up Pepper and Peanut.
Oh.
Isn't that crazy?
Sweetest car ride ever.
3 years ago. We've had these butt heads for 3 years.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Stouffer's lasagna and Texas garlic toast. Yum.
Nice.
John loves garlic bread anytime I make it.
I do.
Hi, John. Is this still available? Only $1?
Yeah, $1. You fool.
John posted that he will like build custom chicken coops for local people, but it says like $1 because the price is determined on like how big of a coop you need, what materials you want it built out of. So anyway, people silly on the internet.
They are silly.
Okay, chickens. Right?
Yeah. So what did you do?
What did you do? So I don't know, everybody may or may not remember that we bought a dozen Samani hatching eggs and ended up with only one hen. And then farm friend Lily gave us a rooster, which is pretty fun and awesome. And he was very, very handsome. And we have 6 eggs in the incubator right now.
Don't ask me, I'm pretending they don't exist.
So we have 6 Samani, like pure Samani to Samani eggs in the incubator right now, which is super awesome. And then I ordered another 15, which will come in July. So hopefully between all of those, yeah, it was handsome. Okay, good catch. You're Adrian, nothing gets by her.
No.
So farm friend Lily, and this is totally 10,000% her right, and I'm happy for her. She had 2 roosters and they got into it, and she was like, I can't have 2 roosters. Can you please take one? And I was like, yes, please. And I went over and she was super stressed, and she was like, just take the mean one. He's a little mean, sorry, but I can't deal with him. And I was like, no problem. And I I'm taking a free rooster, so It's none of my business who I take. So we got him home and he's so handsome and we take this really good picture of him and he's looking like dapper. And then like the next day she's like, oh, could I see a picture of his tongue? Because that's like the big deal with I Am Samani roosters is like they have to have no red in their wattles or their comb has to be up and all black. Their eyes need to be black. Everything is supposed to be black. And then I think after she had like calmed down and maybe like took a better look at the rooster that she had left, I think she realized, she was like, shoot, I gave them the better rooster.
Yeah.
So we had him for a week and then we switched and now we have the other rooster who's like maybe not as handsome.
Yeah, he's just not, the I Am Samanis have a pretty strict standard of perfection when it comes to like what they look for.
And who thought we would ever care about that? But
right.
Here we are.
Yeah. And I don't think we ever really would have, except that we got one that looked really good.
Right.
And so she had also paid a lot of money
right
for these
yes.
chickens, which is why we were like, listen, you take whichever rooster you want.
Of course, yeah.
And she's very nice. She's a friend,
right.
so it's
and
like
she was afraid we were going to be mad. We were like, bro, we're happy to have a rooster, like let alone.
Yeah. And so we had. Can somebody remove Michael, please?
What did they say before that?
They asked if we were brother and sister. Oh. Totes. But anyway, what were we talking about? So we had the rooster for a week, and so we ended
Thank you,
up.
Canners.
Yes, thank you. We ended up with some hatching eggs, and I think they're all developing so far.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's hard to tell because I Am Samanis don't lay like a ton of eggs. Like it's not the kind of chicken that you would want to keep like a whole flock of to have like eating eggs.
And Mom, they lay cream-colored eggs.
Yeah, not black eggs, which is so disappointing.
It is. That would be cool. But yeah, so so they seem to be progressing. But I guess we have they're a few days apart.
Right. That's what I was saying. So they're like staggered in the incubator. So like I'm like, because by the time it's dark, I want to be in bed. So I'm like going over to the incubator with like a blanket over my head and a flashlight, and I've like created this little fort, but it's not really dark enough to tell.
Right.
And I'm like, I think I see something, and I'm just leaving them all in there. I'm not pulling any eggs out of that incubator. So,
Yeah.
And we have our big incubator full of layer flock. We lost a quail hen. I think I'm gonna need to make more babies. I love making little chicken babies. I think that's like the funnest thing in the world.
Tony Romo's turnovers.
What does that mean?
That's well, he should be blocked, but that's funny. Thank you, Mulberry Branch. That was fast. Tony Romo was a quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys and never really got anywhere.
Oh.
So, yeah. Anyway, sounds like a pastry shop. Tony Romo's turnovers.
Oh yeah, I would eat a pastry from there.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't know what it meant.
No, that's okay. Sports.
Thanks, Mulberry Branch.
Yes, thank you.
They're strong tonight.
Yeah. They're strong. But yeah, and so we have a giant incubator full of eggs because you people are all enablers. So I think, what was it, 2 lives ago? We had a conversation and I lost. But anyway.
Not that you were gonna like not let me do that anyway, right?
Well, if you had agreed, sure, we can only do 4 dozen. Great.
Yeah, but if we had only done 4 dozen, then we'd only end up with 3 dozen hatching, and half of them would be roosters.
Yeah, but you say that, and like, how many are we gonna hatch now? And then where are we gonna put them? It doesn't matter because
we'll figure it
it's
out.
happening, and there's nothing I can do to stop it.
I'll sell some of them, I promise. Still looking for the new place. It's a tough time to be. I mean, it's crazy. Like, when 3 people in this chat are like in the process of buying, selling, and moving. So.
Yeah.
Oh man. Happy for you.
Yeah, I don't know. Is this like a sign? Did we make it? Are we famous now? 3 spammers in one night?
But it's
Or is
all the
that
same,
4?
and it's all the same person.
Is it?
Yes.
How do you create that many accounts?
They probably have like 50 burner accounts because this is what they do.
man.
They sit on their couch and log into their burner accounts.
Just in their parents' basement with Cheeto dust all over their fingers. They got nothing better to do.
It's because you put chat. I mean, we put chat in all of our lives, but I don't know. Whenever somebody's so dedicated to us, I don't think it's random. I think it's somebody who's got beef, but it's fine.
Yeah, all good.
Have your beef and eat it too.
Yeah.
Tried to figure out how to email you about the other trucker hat. The best way to email you guys.
Oh, oldreadingfarm@gmail.com.
Oops, I'm trying to
Live
type.
chat always brings the butts. I guess we could take live chat out of the title.
Yeah.
We'll do that for next time.
Oh, look, there's a crown next to my name. That's cute.
That's our name. That's not your name.
You're okay.
They sold the property that we rent. Yeah, that's
Oh.
always tough.
Yeah.
One of our friends, he was actually the assistant to our shearer.
Oh, Randy still.
This is Randy, yeah, Wood. He was on a farm with a bunch of animals, and then they decided he was leasing space, and they sold that too.
We're also watching Sister Wives on TV, and it's happened to like 3 of the Sister Wives that they're in rental houses right now, and the people. Well, and we did it. We had a rental property that we decided to sell because the market is hot right now.
But that was also right at the end of his lease,
Yes, it was.
and we gave him a very generous exit package too. So, but like hindsight, man,
Yeah, I know. Probably wouldn't have done it.
because then the government just came and did bad things to us in the tax room.
Did bad things to us.
Did they not?
They did.
I can't use the words that I would like to use.
I know. The other day, one of the channels I follow got hit for like 30 minutes, and the names were numbered. So they were just saying
Wow.
like spam account 1, spam account 2, spam account 3.
That's funny.
That's so a 1 to 80 spammers. Ugh.
Yikes.
Like, I feel like YouTube should be able to do something. Like if somebody gets timed out or
Yeah, like the number of
Kicked out.
times you get
like
flagged or whatever.
like the IP address should just get put in timeout, like by YouTube's
Right.
algorithm.
Come on, YouTube. Better than that.
Because that's also what I was thinking. I was thinking about. Sorry.
Shh, Pepper. Hey.
Farmer Steve says I've got my finger on the trigger.
Yeah.
We I don't know if anybody else watched. Probably White House on the Hill put up that video where they tried to sell the Mandarin duck hatching eggs, and they had some trolley jerk put in like 500 bids in a row. I keep trying to think of like how eBay should protect them from that and how YouTube should protect people from that. But I was thinking with eBay, I feel like if you are bidding on something, they should put like a whole lot of the money in your account, because theoretically, if you win the bid, you need to have that money to pay for it. And they wouldn't have to charge you until you actually won.
Yeah, I don't know how that works, because I think with auctions, they don't put a hold on your money.
Right.
You have to then go pay for it, and then if you lose, they just go to the next.
Were you
highest
watching
bidder.
that episode of Storage Wars with me where somebody like came and like their storage locker was in foreclosure, but they didn't want to lose all their stuff, so they were bidding on their own locker?
Let's spam the chat. Let's spam the chat. Let's spam the chat.
They're really like creative with all these names, at least.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So Mulberry Branch goes live after us in 5 minutes. So make sure you check them out. But I don't remember that episode.
Yeah, it was I think she had some problems, but she was totally behind on her payments. And then she bid the storage locker up to like $10,000. But I don't even know why they were accepting her bids.
Yeah.
Because in eBay it's just an anonymous thing. But like
Right.
in this episode of Storage Wars, like the people who were running the auction knew that was her, and they knew that she didn't have $10,000 because she wasn't even paying her like $500 storage bill.
Thanks, Steve.
And Replicators and Mulberry Branch Farm, like the triple threat.
Yes.
And somebody last week also like gave us a hard time, like, oh, how many mods do you have? It's like we have 1 mod for every troll that we've had tonight.
Yeah. As many mods as we need.
Also, these are all of our friends.
Right. And we appreciate their help. So.
Did we talk about everything, or I closed my book?
Oh boy.
Stump removal, boy alpacas, completing the move.
Oh, we could talk about the barn.
Oh, roofing the barn.
So we had to buy. So we could not source enough of the sawmill top cuts.
You can never have enough.
Right.
I love that.
So we're working on the siding for the barn last weekend because I took Thursday and Friday off.
Yay!
And we were gonna just use the top cuts from the sawmill that we've used on a bunch of different projects to side it. But we couldn't source enough of the cuts to do that. So we actually bought siding, spent an astronomical amount of money on a very small amount of lumber. And so we finished siding it. We got the roof sheathing up. Cat painted the whole barn.
In like 4 hours one morning before I had to go to work. I was speed painting.
And it was one of the oops paints that turned out to be a miraculous shade of purple blue.
Like periwinkle.
That we will paint over at some point. No offense.
None taken. If anybody was wondering if Storm Cloud's blue is kind of like a deep gray, blue, moody color, no. The answer is no. Storm Cloud's blue. Periwinkle. Super bright.
It's not a very nice color for a barn.
I mean, it looks okay.
Blurple, yes.
Blurple is what it looks like.
Thank you, Adrian.
Yes.
So, but anyway, so we got it painted, which is
funny
good.
that Adrian knew the better word for it than we did. We're like sitting here looking at it, and Adrian's like, it's called blurple. Like, hasn't seen it.
But then, so we also got, so we got the roof sheathing up, we got the tar paper down, and we got about a quarter of the shingles up. I was having trouble getting the shingles. This is a much steeper peak than our other barn, so I was having trouble getting traction. So I was in my boots, and so maybe just having like different sneakers will be better.
I think you were also tired.
That didn't really have anything to do with it.
I fall more when I'm tired.
No, it's not falling. It's just literally if I put weight on my feet, they would slip. So not about to fall off this roof. So
yeah.
So we're working on that, and I think there's probably going to be a way that we can use our metal extension ladder to have that go all the way to the peak, so that I can kind of just use the ladder and hammer them in. But it's supposed to be crazy sunny and warm this weekend, so maybe, just maybe, we'll be able to finish shingling, and then we will be done. And Rob and Rick Incorporated built us a beautiful fire pit.
That's true.
That we got to make a fire out of the other day.
Yep.
It worked out beautifully. And so there's a ton of rocks right in the front of the alpaca barn that we're going to need to clear out. And so since it's also on blocks, we're going to use the rocks to kind of just fill in that gap.
Make it look like it's on like a cute little stone foundation.
So, maybe this weekend we'll be able to get it trimmed and shingled and be done with it. And then we just got to fence it in, which we got 2 rolls of woven wire. So we have
300 feet in each roll, right?
So, and we use some of that on the dog fence. We probably have maybe 500 feet of that. So we'll see how far that gets us. Excuse me. And, maybe we'll be able to move them in next weekend. I
didn't see you over there. You think we'll be able to move the girls next weekend?
Maybe.
And then we'll hopefully pick up the boys and put them at the old farm.
And it's funny because they're in our new city. So it's like we're going to bring our girls from our old town to our new town. Then we're going to get the boys from our new town and move them to our old town.
And then eventually back
up. But yeah.
I would be excited to have alpacas that soon.
Yeah, totally. All right, so that's going to be it for us. Make sure you...
Oh, wait, before we go,
over.
somebody asked one question that I wanted to... Oh, are you guys moving any of your trees to the new property? Geocache, were you, fruit trees, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
So I think the plan was no.
Oh.
It's crazy, though. So
See you later.
John says, bye! For the past 5 years, we have gotten exactly 3 peaches off of our trees. We have, bye, maybe crazy, have a good night, thanks for coming. We have apple, peach, pear, plum, nectarine, other fruits. We have cherry, almond.
We saw almonds.
That's true. So, and we've literally never gotten anything except for these 2 peaches.
Well, we got some apples from the trees that had apples on them when we bought.
Hey, Farm and HVAC. How's it going? So anyway, so we never get any fruit, and like every single year, like we get all this flower and everything looks nice, and we don't get any fruit, and we're like, I don't know, like what's up with fruit trees. But we were over there together on shearing day, and then we mowed, and I did a little bit more planting and weeding. And we're looking at the trees, and we're like, this tree is covered in peaches, this tree is covered in pears, there's stinking apples over here. Is that an almond? Like, how are we even believing this?
Yeah.
So it was crazy to see that much fruto on all of our fruto trees for the first time ever. It was like we're being punished for leaving. That's how I feel. So even though I was like, no, we're not taking any trees. Maybe what we should do though is if we go back on the hunt for the 75% off trees.
Maybe.
Yeah, you had a whole orchard of fruit trees, and I was like, how could you leave them all? Yeah, I mean, it was easier to leave them when they were like offensively vacant of fruit. You know, like we put in all this effort. We dug you these nice big holes. We water you when there's no water. We fertilized you. So it's like, okay, you want to stay here? Stay here. Fine. See if I care. But now all of a sudden they have all this fruit, and I'm like, no, come with us. so I guess, I don't know.
We'll see.
And I know it takes years and years and years, but it's been years and years and years. So I was increasingly frustrated that we weren't getting any fruto activity. But now maybe we are. Okay. So thank you for hanging with us. We went a little over an hour. Mulberry Branch Farm is live. Take cuttings and graft them. So all of the fruit trees, I know, I just can't stop. I love talking about trees.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Can't stop, won't stop. So all of the trees, for the most part, that we got are from like end of season super duper clearance sales. We have a farm store in this area called Agway, and at the end of their season they do 75% off. Lowe's does 75% off at the end of the season. Home Depot as well. And then there's a garden center in the town that my mom lives on that does this like once a year, like super huge blowout sale.
Although they didn't do it last year.
But they didn't do it last year because of COVID. But so all the trees that we buy on like super duper clearance. And it's like, it's a little less offensive to not get an apple off of a tree that you paid $6 for,
right,
versus a tree that you pay $35 for, or like you pay $35 for a tree that's actually worth, $135 or whatever. So bare rooted fruit trees, they come in big pots at the rental, and they're coming with us. Oh, good.
Nice.
Well, that's great. So you can have, your head start. The only trees that we ever bought bare root, we bought hardy almond trees as bare root. But
I weed whacked one of them, but one of them now has almonds on it.
Yeah. So we bought 6. One was weed whacked to death. What?
It's not like I went out there with weed whack. It's just I hit it enough so that I removed all the bark.
Right, all the way around.
Which kills it.
Okay.
But you know what? You want me to weed whack? I'm gonna kill a tree every now and then. Mm-hmm. That's how it goes.
Well, maybe in the future orchard.
Well, we're gonna plant those trees so freaking far apart.
So far apart.
Because these trees are like 3.5 feet apart.
Yeah, we did. What does Farmer Dre call it? Oh, high density.
High density.
Yeah, it's like the highest of density.
High density, low yield.
If they're heavy feeders, crab meal and good compost. Yeah, last year we did a top dress of the alpaca manure when we were doing the mulching around them.
And then wood chips.
And I also hit them with fish fertilizer. Mm. Oh, and we did bone meal too. They got spoiled last year. Maybe that's why this year they have fruit.
Could be.
Maybe they absorbed all of that nutrients.
Could be. Always
a pleasure to be here, Old Reading Farm. Have a great week, and we'll see you guys soon.
Congrats on the move.
Yeah, congrats on your move. Hopefully you get your hot water soon.
Yes, soon.
Okay, all right, everybody, have a super great, fantastic night. Thank you for hanging out with us. Sorry we were... Night, Dad. Dad, I called you a couple times. You didn't call me back. Call me back. Okay, bye, everybody.
Bye.
Have a good night. Bye. This?
Uh-huh.
Night. Oh, gosh.
Good job.
Have a good night.